you were likely taught that chakras are personal energy centers, but that's only half the story. They're also relational. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jess. Here I talk about mysticism, shamanism, the occult, and spiritual sovereignty. People are often taught that the chakras are purely interior to the individual. And at one level, this is true. Chakras happen when energy paths in a person's field overlap and it creates a spin. Chakra means wheel or spin. These energy paths, we have thousands of them called nadis throughout the body. They intersect and chakras are created. We have dozens of chakras. Some say 108 chakras, some say 66 chakras. Most of us know the main 7, and those are the ones I'm going to talk about on this video. Now, when I said chakras are relational, what do I mean by that? Well, have you ever had like a really bad breakup where it just felt nearly impossible to get over a person, or the ending of a friendship or other type of relationship where it seemed to just kind of drag on forever emotionally? You might have even felt enmeshed with this person, and that would be accurate. Energetically, you likely were. This can happen in positive relationships. Healthy relationships involve energetic enmeshment, and also toxic relationships. So what's actually getting enmeshed? Well, if we look at the chakras purely from an interpersonal perspective, we start at the root, Muladhara. This traditionally has to do with grounding, connection to the material world. It also has to do with the emotion of anxiety. This is linked to our sense of safety, safety within the relationship. This can be emotional safety. This can be financial safety. This is also physical and spiritual safety. Next, we have the sacral chakra, and this chakra is related to sensuality, creativity, also emotions. And this is, what are you creating through your tie with that other person? It could be creating children. It could be creating joy and pleasure. It could be creating a business. It could be creating a friendship that goes on for years. What is that creative force between you and the other person? Next, we have the Manipura, the solar plexus chakra. This is will. This is also where power imbalance exists. So this is about who's holding more authority within the dynamic. And in a healthy connection, a healthy relationship, and a healthy enmeshment, the power is a dance back and forth. In a toxic relationship, the power is asymmetrical. It's always going to be one-sided, or most of the time it's going to be one-sided. Next, you have the heart, Anahata. And the heart, this is love, this is community, this is also attachment. What is the type of attachment that is being enacted within the relationship? Is it a healthy attachment, or is it an attachment and an attachment style that could use some help? Then we have Vishuddha, the throat, and the throat is going to be your voice within the dynamic, how much you can speak your truth, and it's also what is the story you and this other person are crafting together about each other, about the partnership, about the world that surrounds you. Then we have the third eye, Agya, and this is about dreams. This is about vision for the future. This is shared thought processes. On the metaphysical level, this can also be in a relationship, shared dreams, like nighttime dreams, or shared dreams in the more visionary sense. Then finally, the crown chakra, this is your link to the divine. How is this relationship interacting with that link? How is that connection with the divine being mediated through the relationship? In healthy relationships, it expresses fully in a balanced way. In an unhealthy enmeshment, one person tends to take on the worldview of the other person. tends to take on the beliefs of the other person. When an unhealthy enmeshment has happened, one person's energy sensors dominate or heavily influence the other person's energy sensors. And this happens through the things that are said within the relationship, the activities, the behaviors in the relationship. And if you happen to be with someone who knows how to move energy, maybe they're involved in energy practices or the occult, this can be influenced in very real and subtle ways. So, how do you then end the connection, the energy transmission between chakra centers, between you and another person, when a relationship has come to an end? Well, an easy way to do it is through doing your own cord cutting, which is a popular practice if you've been in any self-help traditions, some shamanic traditions, and some occult practices. The way we integrate it with the chakras is we think about each of the chakras and how has that dynamic become unbalanced, and we cut that connection. So, for example, if I had been enmeshed in a toxic relationship with someone, and maybe my sense of safety was compromised, I would first begin by cutting away any influence threatening my physical, material, spiritual, emotional safety. I cut away any energetic ties that allow that safety to be challenged. Move up to the second chakra. I cut away any links to my creativity, any feeding that's happening from my creative energy by this other person, or the leaking of my creative energy because of my connection to this person. I'm cutting that away. I'm cutting away their emotional access to me. I'm cutting away my desire to have emotional access to them. And then whether you use scissors or a ritual knife, making the gesture and cutting it away. Moving up to the third chakra, I cut away any illusions that this person had power over me. I cut away any distortions that this person had greater authority or knew better than I did. I am claiming my personal power back in my life. I am freeing myself from them, and I'm freeing them from me. And then cutting that cord. Then to the heart, I cut away any toxic attachment that I had to this person, that it had kept us bound together. I cut away their access to my heart. I cut away my drive to try and access their heart. I set them free. I set me free. Cutting that. Then to the throat, I reclaim my voice. I reclaim my spoken truth. I cut away the shared story. It is done. That timeline is closed. That loop has ended. I am freeing myself to craft, to tell a new story of me and my world. Then the third eye, I cut away any pathways that let them influence my thoughts. I cut away any access to my dream space. I cut away any beliefs in a future of togetherness. I cut away any manipulations to memories of the past. I free my inner eye to see my landscape and the world around me, free of distortion, illusion, and lies. And then finally, the crown chakra. You can cut away their attachment. I might say something like, I free myself from any spiritual influence this person had over my worldview, over my beliefs in the divine, over my ability to access the divine. I cut away any mediation they attempted between me and the spirit world. I free my upper channel to openly receive loving guidance from the upper world, from the divine. So that's how I would do it. This is just in a nutshell. You can make it as elaborate of a ritual as you want. What's going to be important is your emotional state when you do this, being very clear, having a sense of setting a final boundary, and speaking aloud, because you're training yourself, your inner world, but you're also training the energetic field around you to create that separation. Of course, other chakras you can include in Earth Star or Alta Major in the back, just depending on the type of enmeshment, if it's needed or not. So that is the quick approach to freeing yourself from emotional enmeshment via the chakras. If you like this content, if you want to hear more, please like, subscribe, ding the bell. I come out with new videos regularly, both long form and shorts. Thanks so much. May you be blessed.